Previously on the Steelers versus Broncos. Okay, that was my little 5-second interpretation of last year's wild card game between the Steelers and Broncos. Now we fast forward to where Peyton Manning makes his return to the NFL and is now under center for the Broncos of Denver. Now the Steelers Broncos. We all saw the game last year. Tim Tebow got the pass of Demaryius Thomas, and he beat the Steelers in the wild card round. And then they got trounced by New England. But now that Denver's got a quarterback, and everyone's picking them to win the AFC West, or at least half, 50-50 split of people are picking them to win the division anyway. As I run down this game analysis, the Steelers didn't start out too bad, but I mean their defense was doing pretty well for the first half, and they were getting to Peyton pretty good. And Peyton's only score came at the second quarter, mid-second quarter, 5:16 left when he handed off to Noshawn for a 7-3 lead. And then that was the last time he had the ball for a while, because the Steelers, they tried the idea of let's keep Peyton on the sidelines, and let's run our slow, methodical offense, and maybe it will work. So the Steelers did get a touchdown on a wide open pass to Heath Miller, making it 10-7 at the half. Then they had a long drive, which took up to 6 minutes and 5 seconds when they only got a field goal from Sean Schwism. And then Peyton Manning comes out not even a minute later, like 38 seconds. Like the Denver Broncos only had 38 seconds of time of possession in the third quarter, and Peyton Manning only threw one pass, and it was a little screen pass to Demaryius, and Thomas just took off. And he's apparently the Steeler killer, because no one can tackle that guy. So it made it 14-13 by the end of the third quarter. Big Ben did march down the field. It took him a while, but he got to Mike Wallace, making 19-14. Two-point conversion was no good. Now the Broncos drove down the field, and they almost got a turnover, but the challenge was overturned. They thought the Steeler, Tammy, I believe, fumbled the ball near the end zone, and it went out of bounds. But no, they challenged it, and the play stood as a non-fumble. And then Mike Tomlin got a little frustrated. He tried throwing the challenge flag after a play was already ran, but they ran the challenge anyway. I mean, I didn't understand. I don't know if it's replacement refs. I don't want to blame them too much on that, but the play was already ran. The challenge flag, they didn't see it. It's pretty much too late, but whatever. Anyway, Jacob Tammy would get a 1-yard passing touchdown from Manning, and then Manning would also complete a pass to McGahee, and that would make the score 22-19. The Steelers couldn't do anything, and Matt Prater would kick a field goal, making it 25-19. And then Big Ben tried to make his little comeback moment, but it would be ruined as Tracy Porter, who had a great game, by the way, ran it back for a pick six, making it 31-19. And that will about do it, as Big Ben will then afterwards get sacked 3 times in a row, because he's Big Ben and he just stands in the pocket for about 10 seconds at a time when the game's pretty much over, and he gets drilled by Von Miller. But Von Miller didn't really have that many stat-wise until the end of the game. But anyway, my thoughts on this game, what does it mean? Well, it's good. It was a feel-good moment for Peyton Manning, and I feel good for the guy. I even have his autographed jersey when he was a Colt. I don't know where to sell it one day. I don't know if I'll ever sell it, but anyway. But I think this is a good moment for Peyton Manning. I think this is a significant win. I mean, because it is Peyton's first game. I mean, no one knows how he was going to be. No one knows how his arm was going to be. And it helped that James Harrison did not play. Neither did Ryan Clark. But Ryan Clark has this altitude issue. He can't play in those conditions, and it kind of sucked. And I don't remember why James Harrison was injured, but either way, Peyton Manning took advantage of it, as he should. And really, the Broncos rushing actually did pretty good. They only got 93 yards, but they still look pretty significant. McGahee got 63 of those. And Noshawn Marino even got a touchdown, only 13 yards rushing aside from the fact. But anyway, the Steelers, they only had 75 yards rushing. Their leading runner was a rookie, Dyer. with 43, and Isaac Redmond, who was the potential starter since Rashard Mendenhall couldn't make the start, and he struggled big time. Only 11 carries, 21 yards. Big Ben, he didn't have a bad game. Big Ben didn't have a bad game until that pick six that ruined the game for him. I don't know what to think about the Steelers. They're kind of like everyone seemed to be passing them off this year. Like everyone's already claiming the Ravens to be the AFC North. I myself included. I'll admit it. But I don't know how the Steelers are going to be. I mean, I know they'll be good. I think they'll be. I know they're going to get at least 9 or 10 wins, probably more. But it's just they just look a lot slower now. And even Palomalo had a bad game, but you got to play to win the game, and Denver did that. And Denver has a tough test next week as they have to go to Atlanta to take on the Falcons on Monday Night Football. Meanwhile, the Steelers have to take on the Jets, and I doubt Mark Sanchez will have the day he had against the Bills like he did against the Bills against the Steelers next week. But Pittsburgh's just got to be a little careful. I'm just saying, because they don't want to go down 0-2, especially in a tough AFC North. But you got the Ravens and the Bengals. You don't have to worry about the Browns, but anyway. And the Broncos, it's pretty much you need every win you can get because it is the AFC West, and pretty much 9 wins or maybe even 10 will win that division. And I think every team in that division is about evenly matched for the most part. I think it, but and especially because Denver has a tough test at the beginning of the season. Really, they got a tough schedule all season. Because as I run it down, they got the Falcons next Monday, then they got the Texans. They do have the Raiders, but the Raiders seem to have the Broncos number when the games are played in Denver. Then they got the Patriots at New England, and then they got to go at San Diego. That would be significantly tough, but I think they could beat San Diego. Then they got to play the Saints, and then the schedule kind of slows down a bit. They do have the Ravens late in the season, as well as the Chiefs a couple times, but I don't know. I still don't know what to think of Denver. I think they're a solid team. Do I think they'll win the division? That waits to be seen. But that is my it for a Sunday recap. Be sure to come back tomorrow as I break down Bengals, Ravens, and Chargers, Raiders. Leave comments below and your thoughts, questions, whatever. I'm out.